Howdy everyone, Matt here coming at you with another product review, and it is a rollator by Vocic. It is the Z63 Rollator. I want to talk about some of the specifications for it, how to use it, and kind of go through that, and then give my recommendation. So let's get into it. Starting right off with the specifications, as I mentioned, so I've got it expanded out here. It is just under 25 inches wide and just over 25 inches long, and that's this unfolded position. Now, you can fold it up, flip the seat up. It folds up. So when you fold it up, it's just about 13 inches wide there. So the handles on it adjust. So they have the knobs here that you unscrew and that you lower this down and up. They will go anywhere from 29.9 inches all the way up to 35.8 inches. So this could fit someone up to 6'2". I'm 6'1", so I will show you how it looks on me here in just a minute here. Now the seat height as well, you can adjust this. It adjusts down here. It has the little tabs for the tubes that you pop in, so you can lower the seat part down so you can have that seat height at a good height for you. The seat itself is 14 by 2 inches by 12 by 2 inches, and it's also almost 2 inches thick. So you got some padding right there. It has a little contour for your bottom as well, which is very, very, very nice. It has the backrest as well. This is a more heavy-duty reinforced backrest on it. So when you sit and you lean back, and I'll show you here in just a minute, it is going to support you pretty well. The frame of it, people kind of wonder about the frame. The frame is aluminum, but it's not flimsy. It's a much thicker aluminum as well, so it's about 30% thicker, and this can hold up to 300 pounds on it, so it can hold quite a bit. It can, the storage bag, I mentioned it since I got this, it comes with a storage bag on the front, so carrying anything in there, it can hold up to 22 pounds, which is very, very nice. Overall, the total weight of this entire rollator is 23 pounds. So it is a little heavier, but it is pretty heavy duty. Now, it does have very thick wheels on the bottom, very thick heavy duty wheels. I'll show you how it moves here. It is very smooth. Has the hand brakes at the top, just like we all know. Squeeze them, that stops it. You lock it, clicking it down, just like that. So it's got that. Now, you may be saying, well, Matt, what makes it so special? Well, I'll show you right here. It's this sucker right here, this baby right here. It is a dampener. And if you don't know what that is that it allows you to turn it, and if you just turn it up in the resistance, it puts a resistance on the wheels. So this, it's very good if you're going on like downhill. It's kind of the big thing that you're able to turn up the knob and it doesn't move quite as much. So let me show you just utilizing it. I'll use it here I am. All right, so let me show you just kind of how it maneuvers. I am on a laminate floor, so this is a much smoother floor surface, just to kind of get an idea of it. It does handle very well. So turning, the front wheels pivot 360 degrees, so you do have that very easy maneuverability. The rear wheels are fixed, so that's how it pivots. It locks in this manner, so if I go to push it, so I'm pushing it, now I'm holding the brakes, so it holds the hand brakes pretty well, and locked, it's not going to move. It's sliding a little bit on this floor. As for the weight, again, I'll show you, locking it, sitting in it. I like that back support on it, that it actually kind of hits a pretty good spot in the lumbar, so it kind of gives you that good support. It's not too low where you feel like you're going to tip over, or too high it's pushing you forward, but pretty comfortable right there in the chair. I mean, the seat part of it, it's pretty comfortable. I'm going to say that right now. It does fold up. So you lift the seat, grab the middle, boom, right there. Like I said, 23 pounds, so a little bit more heavy. So adjust that down. Now, a little bit about that dampener. Now, that's what people like to think about. So I'm going to show you here using it outside, but just to get a little idea. So that's how it moves without the dampener going. I'm going to turn it on 1. I've just got my fingertips. So it's a little harder. As you see, a little slower. We'll go up to 2. So again, a little bit more. All the way up to the 3. So you see that's a lot more challenging to utilize. And like I said, the big thing that you can really see is using this outside, which I'll show you right now. So I'm out here in a park. I'm going to get a real world application to show you how it works with the dampener. So this park has a little slight ramp going down, and it's how the rollator works. So if I just let go, I have it set on 0. As you see, it moves really well. I kicked it there, sorry. I'll do this again. So just let it go. That's how it's going to roll. So pretty easy. Now I'm going to put it on the first one. So I just clicked on the first one. This is how it's going to go. So a lot slower on there. Let's try the second one here. Yeah, run the wheels forward on it. So nice and steady. So going down this, if I was concerned about, oh no, I don't want this to get out in front of me, get out away from me, I turn that dampener on. There we go. And once again, I'll show you turning it all the way off. So this is just regular unlocked. That's how it's going to roll. It's going to go. So, all right, now let's go try it on a bigger hill. All right, so doing some real world application. I'm on a pretty good incline here just to show you it's at the 0 on it, just rolling. That's how it rolls without it. So I'm going to come back to here and I'm going to turn it all the way up to the 3rd setting on it. That's how it rolls, but it won't get away from me. I'm not got the handles locked, so here the handles are locked. They're locked here. They're unlocked. That's how it moves on the 3rd one, going down this incline. Again, going back 0. That's how it moves. It's a little bit of a slant, but back on the 3rd. It's not going to roll out. So again, if you got somebody that needs help with these inclines, this one's going to be great. So going into the background on how to use the rollator. Many people think that you just pull it out of the box, you snap it together, and you use it. But there are some things that you want to keep in mind with utilizing it with whomever. First off, you want to get the height set. Now, like I said, I'm 6'1", so I'm on the taller end of this, but what I tell people mostly to do is that you want the person to be able to stand nice and upright. So if I'm standing upright, I typically say you want the handles about the wrist level. That way, they're right here. That's how you want somebody to use it. You want them to use it where their hands are just resting on it and they're walking with it nice and easy. A mistake that people will make is that they'll have it too low and they're really over it like this. You don't want that. Mainly, make sure I got this turned off. Mainly, you don't want someone really pushing down on it because if they push too much, it could slide out from under them. So, and then also it can cause back pain. You want, again, somebody in a nice upright position when they're utilizing. So you have to make sure that you do set it up correctly. Another thing, safety. This kind of comes into several things. One, you want someone to make sure that they are cognitively aware of how to utilize and to be safe using a device like this. It's something that we would always go through. That means that they know how to use the handbrakes as needed. So if they do need to stop, that they are able to use it. Things that they're not leaning very heavily on it. Also, additionally, you don't want people that are going to be utilizing the walker to try to pull up on it. So if I just show here, so we always teach that to people. You don't want people trying to get up like this. because it's very easy for this to tip, roll, move like that. You don't want somebody to use that in that manner. So if you find somebody is having some of these troubles overall, typically you want to have that addressed, supervision with utilizing it, as well, again, understanding the dampener and those things, and then like again with sitting, that you're going to just do those little aspects of it. But it's pretty, so once it's set up, it's usually pretty straightforward to use on it. Getting into the cost, this rollator costs $299 on it, so a little bit more on the higher end, but you are paying for a higher quality product. The availability, you can get these through the Vocic website, the availability, it's very easy to get them. You can just purchase these yourself. You don't need anything to go through. You can go to the Vocic site, which I will have linked down below. Getting into the ease of use, once again, kind of going back, setting it up is the first thing, but people typically do understand how to use them if just showing them. If you meet with a therapist, they can typically kind of go over some of those things, but hey, you go over the basics, like don't pull up on it when you're getting up out of a chair. You want to make sure that you're standing upright. You know, the handbrakes are very comfortable and in that position to utilize. Again, if you need to take a break, boom, you're right there. You can have the seat, lock it in, and that you're good to use. Dampener may take a little, I would say may take a little time just to kind of get used to how the settings are and how you would want to utilize them, but it's pretty straightforward on it. The utility, I would say this is an everyday one. This is for somebody that needs help with getting around. This is one they can use around the house, outside in the community. This is something that, like I said, everyday use. So this is going to be used, you know, like no matter where that you're going. The long-term durability. That always kind of comes up. People, you know, I said it's made of aluminum, and people think, oh, aluminum, it's cheap, it's flimsy. I'm going to tell you what, like I said, the frame itself is 30% thicker. These tubes are 30% thicker. So they're much sturdier than those just basic rollators that you see. Like I get patients that use those, and I'm going to tell you, like, the frame starts bending, the welds on it. There's not a lot of welds on this, which I always look for that, because those cheaper materials that use, those lightweight ones, the welds aren't very strong and they'll break on those welds. Additionally, it's very well reinforced. That's another thing that I would see on these other ones. They would have like very flimsy metal holding them together right here, and that would be a point that would just break on it. But this, again, much more durable. It's reinforced on the back. It's very thick on the seat. So, and I believe Vocic does have a warranty on it. They are standing behind their equipment. They want to make sure that they put the best equipment out there, and they would stand behind it with any kind of, with a warranty on it. You would have to check. I'm sorry, I can't think of it offhand, but they would want to take care of their product and make sure that you get a good one. What are my final thoughts on this? I will say it is a little bit more on the higher end. Okay, $299 for the cost. Very easy to get a hold of. You get it through the website. This is an everyday use one, so if you're going to have somebody that's using a rollator to get around, this would be one that they could use, getting around the house, getting around in the community, getting out there. It is a little on the heavy side, 23 pounds, and the size of it, you know, folded up. So I will say that could be a little bit of a drawback, that it can be a little bit more awkward and cumbersome to deal with because of the size and the weight, and that depends upon the person. So if they're just somebody that's going to have a harder time folding it up and putting it somewhere, they can have the challenge. But like I said, if you're needing one to get out in the community and to get around the house, and it's sturdy, holds a lot of weight, It's very good. You know, like I said, people can use these pretty well once you've got it set it up. So once it's set up for you or whomever, it's going to be set. You set the base of it here, so you got the seat at the proper level. You set them here to make sure that you have the handles at the proper level. And you don't have to worry about it being having to be readjusted or anything like that. You don't have to worry like, oh no, this thing slipped, this thing here, because these, I'll show you, they screw in there, so they're locked in here. So once you put it at the level that you want and it's in there, this is set for the person that's using it. So that is there. The dampener, I like the dampener on it. And I would say this would be something for someone that, again, you're going out. I know there's a mall near me that has some little ramps on it. And walkers and rollators can get away from people. They can just start sliding out. And you turn that little dampener on because you're going down this slight hill. Okay, I don't have to worry about it going down here. Or if you're going somewhere with a larger hill, okay, you could really turn this up. You don't have to worry about the hand, you know, oh, I got the hand brake and I got to hold it and I make sure I don't. You just turn that on and it's just a very, very easy way. Or again, if you're on a more slick surface, you know, we go to, you know, marble flooring and that type of stuff. Those things can move really, really easily. So you can just turn this thing on. Hey, they're going to maneuver. They're going to be safe. You don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, we got to change this resistance. Boom, you just flip on that knob right there. So that is pretty cool. I do like that. You don't, like I said, you don't see that, but it is so cool. And of course you can adjust it to the height or whatnot that you want on it. So I would recommend this rollator to people. Like you say, hey, should I get one for my parent or my grandparent or a friend of mine or, you know, patient? Should I recommend one of these for them? And they're going to use it as their main way to assist them with getting around. Yeah, I would recommend to say, hey, pick you up one, have it. Being able to use it, get around, you know, staying mobile, getting out and doing things. So I wouldn't worry about with that. So there you go. That is, like I said, the Vocic Z63 Rollator. I'm going to have the links all down below. Check it out if you're interested in it. And thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.